Welcome. We're glad you're here. On this episode of the Noble Dram, Aaron and I each share a bottle that we picked up for under 25 bucks each. Let's see if these bottles are bang for the buck.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. So tonight, Gavin and I want to explore a topic that has been discussed and bantered about on the back patio here many nights, and that is what is the best bang for the buck whiskey? So first off, I guess the question is, when somebody says, "Man, best bang for the buck," what do you think? Like, what comes to mind when you hear that phrase?
Well, obviously I think about, well, how much am I going to spend? Like, what is that cost going to be? And then is there a generic whiskey that I want to try or go after? So when I think bang for the buck and I think about whiskey, I'm probably leaning more towards rye and bourbons.
Yeah, I think if half of the phrase bang for the buck is buck, right? So I think cost becomes the thing that we think about. And historically, overall, bourbons tend to be less expensive than scotches. So I think that makes a lot of sense to think that you lean away from scotch and more into rye and bourbons. I would push that maybe this doesn't mean single malt scotch. Maybe this means blends, right? Which is a thought that comes up. I hate to say it, bang for the buck always tells me it's not going to be very good, right? The sales pitch is, it's not great, but I didn't pay very much for it. Yeah, and so it always makes me a little nervous when somebody's like, best bang for the buck, easily best bottle for the price.
Agreed. Because when I think of that, you think the word cheap, and I tend to go economic.
Cost effective. Cheap sounds dirty.
In our industry, cost effective or efficient or all those buzzwords
Sure.
Come out. So when I think bang for the buck, if I'm looking at a bourbon, let's just say, or an American whiskey, I'm probably hitting around an Old Forester type product or like.
Okay, so you're going straight to bottles you think of.
Yeah,
what's the bottle? Like, you go online and someone says, "I've never had this before," and the comments immediately fill with best bottle for that price point. Easily a great daily sipper, right? You see that a lot.
Yeah.
On mine, we'll get to the bottles we picked for tonight, but one of them that always pops up is Old Granddad 114. That seems to be talked about a lot in the whiskey worlds. Going across the pond, right?
We're turning.
Bang for the buck on the Scotch side. I hear guys talk about Dewar's all the time, right? Monkey Shoulder is another one of those bottles that, like, I'll say, I don't know how you don't have that in your collection. It's that good at that kind of price point. But yeah, I think the instinct is to think cheap bourbon. The first thing I think of is I'm bending over at the liquor store to get that bottle. It's on the shelf below the knee, right? It's not. You're not reaching up to get the best bang for the buck.
It's like the bottom two shelves.
Yeah, maybe it's just a little bit of arrogance from me, but I'm like, I'm hoping it isn't a plastic bottle, right? Like, that's your first thought is, let's at least hope that whoever said this is the best bang for the buck, at least it's in glass. Hey, I'm excited to think it might have a cork.
Well,
right?
That's a good point. It's a good point. Or, if it has a handle, right? Like, if we're going there.
For sure.
Does it have a handle?
It's the old guy who stops in every day and gets a bottle at the liquor store. So the challenge for tonight thinking along this best bang for the buck, we said, well, let's put a price limit on ourselves. So tonight, in honor of the fact that it's 2025, we said, okay, $25. And I'll be honest, that was harder than I thought it was going to be. I don't know as if this is tariffs or inflation or what, but it's hard to find a bottle of whiskey for under $25 that I'm like, we should crack that open and drink that.
Absolutely. I literally walked down the aisle or aisles this afternoon at a local shop near where I work, and I just immediately skipped the Scotch aisle because I just knew that like under $25 you're really not getting anything.
Yeah.
And so I went straight to the bourbons and ryes because I thought, well, yeah, that's probably where I'll end up. And so I ventured down that aisle, found a few bottles that I would pop open tonight. And then I just wanted to go see. So I went back, circled around the Scotch aisle, and talked to a fellow in the aisle and told him kind of what we were doing. And he was like, yeah, good luck. But you never know what you're going to find.
You needed the shopping cart at the end of the aisle that has the got to go deals to get under $25 in the Scotch.
Right. And so circled back around to the Scotch not the Scotch, but the bourbon and rye aisle, and found the bottle that I want to share with you tonight.
But before we go there, it's my turn to go first. So, while I pull this out, I want you to be thinking about when you say, like, that's a good one, what are the things you look for? I'll give you a sneak peek into the thought process that went into me. Well, first off, I picked from the room, right? I didn't go to the liquor store. So I had to wade through the list trying to find the ones under $25 in the room. And then I found a handful. I was shocked. I'll say I fudged a little bit, and I got to like $27, $28, I think, that I paid on a couple of them in here when I was looking through the list. I will say I picked a sub-$25 bottle. I actually paid $25 on the nose for this bottle. But one of the things I look for is I want something that has a recognizable flavor profile, a taste. You don't want something that is completely unknown. I mean, maybe you stumble into something, but if I'm going, I'll be honest, if I'm down to my last $25, I'd sure like to know I'm not going to hate it. So for me, I said, well, let's run down those big boy distilleries that we all think of, right? And Buffalo Trace pops to mind. Buffalo Trace has a lot of bourbons that are not their standard products. They're budget friendly. And then for me, I said, well, wouldn't it be cool if you could get something unique in that range? So for anyone who is familiar with Buffalo Trace's mash bill number 1 is used in a variety of products. Probably the most common one we know of, obviously, Buffalo Trace, the Eagle Rares, E.H. Taylors, even Stag and Stag Junior start with the recipe of benchmark bourbon. Now, this one happens to be their single barrel release. A couple years ago, they started releasing a number of different variations. So this one came in right at $25. You can actually get their standard 8-year product at actually a little under that, about $20 to $22, kind of here in our range. May I pour you a splash?
Please do. Please do.
Heavy pour, I assume?
As always. The joke, or the ongoing joke between Aaron and I is I have the heavy pour.
It's not a joke.
It's true. It's actually pretty true. I'll own that.
We've done some empirical research. Every time we pour a glass, we put 2 of them side by side, and Gavin's is always a heavier pour than mine. So
I just like to share more, okay?
All right.
Just in my being.
Hell, just in honor, I poured a little bit more in your glass, so you felt a little bit more at home.
Thank you.
That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. All right. So what I'll say, first off, screw cap. Hey, that's a sign of a cheap whiskey, right? Budget friendly. Sorry, budget friendly whiskey.
Budget friendly.
So, like I said, this is made by Buffalo Trace. It is that same standard mash bill number 1. They're low rye. So they think this is somewhere around the 8 to 10%. They don't really spell out their actual their actual grain profiles, but it's pretty well assumed that this is their lower rye mash bill. Bottled at 95 proof, so it's a little higher than your 80s and your 85s. Got a little bit more kick to it. And my hopes, being a single barrel, hopefully this is one of the better ones out of that set. Then that was the premise behind my selection tonight.
I like it.
So while we take a sip of this, I want to get back to the conversation about best bang for the buck, right? So as you're tasting, I want you to mill in your head what is an acceptable price range to classify as the best bang for the buck. Can you walk in and confidently set a bottle down on the table that's a $150 bottle of scotch and say, one of the best bang for the bucks? Like, is that an acceptable thing to say?
I think, honestly,
or do you come across as an asshole?
I think it kind of depends on also just who you are. Because I would say for a scotch, $150 is pretty good for a pretty standard release. Honestly, I tend to try to stay close to under $100 on almost every bottle. Now, I will go above that.
I'm afraid my wife watches this podcast, so I'm going to keep my price.
And my wife is watching this too. So
Gavin is very thrift conscious.
Don't worry about it. Very thrifty. Very frugal. No, I'm the less frugal in my family. I will admit that.
So, for me, right off the bat, this is rougher than all of those other bourbons I said share this mash bill. This isn't as soft and smooth and as rounded out as you expect to get out of an Eagle Rare or an E.H. Taylor. Certainly doesn't obviously carry the proof that you get with a Stag. It's a little rough. It's a little medicinal. I still get a bit of the caramel, vanilla, classic-y bourbon notes. But I won't say it's exceptionally complex. Is that an acceptable thing to say?
I was literally just about to write that down. Like, I feel like on the nose, very candy forward. Like, I feel it's very sweet, very, caramel, vanilla. But
I hate to say it, I don't think it's that way.
Are you disagreeing with me?
In fairness, we pre-sipped. Right, you got to get ready for an episode. We pre-sipped with a little bit of wheated bourbon.
So wheated?
Wheated bourbon. So yeah, this one isn't as sweet as the one we were having previously. So to me, this feels, I don't know, you said candy. I don't know if I go candy.
Man, I get... It's sweet to me. It's almost like I do get cola, like a cherry cola, but
I think you get cherry cola on every bourbon.
I do. It's but that's okay.
For your birthday, I'm going to get you a 12-pack of cherry cola.
Cherry cola.
RC cola? Are you a Coca-Cola man? You a Pepsi guy? Get out.
If we're going cola, if we're going to get cola, we're going to go RC. We're going to go RC.
RC cola.
We're going to go. Is that even around anymore?
I think so. I don't know. I haven't seen one in a long time.
I haven't either.
So I get a little sweetness on the palate and at the very beginning of the finish, and then I feel like that kind of gets overrun with a bit of an astringency on the finish. So this is exactly the kind of bourbon I would mix with a cherry cola, right? Like, yeah, I don't know as if this is a sit around and sip it on its own kind of thing.
Well, and it is a single barrel, so take that for what it's worth.
Yeah, the other ones are probably better.
Yeah,
it's a valid point. Yeah, it was probably better when it was new. It's not fresh anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to say some really ridiculous stuff on this TV or on this podcast.
On this DVD show. I think I say DVD.
Well, we're going to do a DVD special. No,
Netflix.
It's this being not fresh might be the most ridiculous thing you said today.
I don't know. I feel like it's more approachable on the nose, less on the palate. I feel like it falls so quickly.
I will say that as I've had more sips of it, some of the roughness is kind of mellowed out in the glass. Maybe just because it's opened up and breathing a little bit. It's less astringent. It might partly be because we're almost through glass number 2 of sipping this evening, and that helps, right, for sure. All right, so hold up. We had a question. Can you, in good conscience, walk into a room and say, I have this great several $100 bottle of bourbon, and I think it might be the best bottle of bourbon I've ever paid for, knowing its price? Or when someone says best bang for the buck whiskey, does that feel like the bottle has to be cheap?
Economical.
Cheap. Cheap. Yeah, to me, I think that's where my head goes. But as we were kind of preparing for this episode, I'm not positive that's the case. I'm not positive it has to be that way. Now, would you say that a $50 bottle could be twice as good as a $25 bottle? I think there's the potential in that, right? Is a $100 bottle by default twice as good as the $50 bottle? Like, it can certainly be better, but twice as good? Maybe not twice as good. And then you start getting into $200, $300, $400. Like, I think you're chasing a small amount of return in that cost. Now, every palate's different. I've known many a guy who was an avid Jack Daniel's Old No. 7 drinker, and they thought that was the best thing ever. I have a hard time drinking if somebody else pays for it, let alone me paying for it. But that's me, right? So to me, it feels like to be in that best bang for the buck, got to be inexpensive.
Yeah, I think it's also just perspective. It's kind of walking in and knowing what your budget may be, and just being budget conscious. So when I go in, like when I walked in today to the shop near my office, I picked up a couple bottles. Typically, I wouldn't pick up that many bottles, but they were on sale.
We shop different.
We shop different. And so I thought about it a little differently. So the bottle that I'm going to share with us tonight, right at the price point, I picked up another bottle right at the price point. The other one I picked up was on sale, and I would pay that much for that third bottle, but since it was on sale, it was like, yeah, I'm definitely getting it today. I passed it up a few times, but today I'm going to get it. So I think about it in what's it going to cost me? Is it something that I've had before? It's all perspective. It's all subjective based on who you are, what your livelihood is. I mean, going even into that, like if you're loaded and you have a ton of money, a $300 bottle of scotch,
we want to be your friend.
We want to be
your call.
Yeah. A $300 bottle of scotch is a drop in the bucket potentially. So, that may be, bang for the buck for you. Who knows?
I think so I'll say, I think there's a bit of like what your financial place is, right? Like to some people, $100 is a lot of money for a bottle. I'd make the argument $100 is a pretty reasonable price on a bottle of scotch. So if you came in and said, man, one of the best bang for the buck single malt scotches I've ever had was this $100 bottle, that doesn't feel unreasonable to me. I'd have a hard time listening to somebody who came in and said, best bang for the buck, $100 bourbon. I'm like, well, wait a second. You mean to tell me it is lights out better than that $60 or $70 bottle of bourbon? Because that's kind of what that message implies. All right, before we see, you get to chat and you don't drink your whiskey. All right, so what do you think of this one?
Well, before that, You say I sip my whiskey a little too fast. Look at you.
I know.
Look at you.
I've been letting you talk.
Oh, is that what it is?
That and I drink a lot while I talk, so that helps.
Fair.
So before we give it a score and stuff, I do want to hear, what do you think of this one? Like overall, where do you put this?
I mean, overall, I think I would agree with you. This is definitely something that I would mix in. I actually have this bottle on my shelf as well. So it is something that I would mix in, but definitely to me not a daily sipper. Some folks may really enjoy it as a daily sipper, but
to be honest, it's gotten better as the glass has gone on. If you had asked me to take the first sip and give this one a number, I'd have been in the 60s, maybe a low 70. As the glass has gone on, I'm solidly in the 70s. It's still not a bottle you have to have one of these for me, but like if you ever invited me over to your house and we were sitting down and having a glass and you poured in my glass, that's fine. I wouldn't be upset with you.
No. Honestly, if anybody invites me over to their house and they pours me. Yeah, no, I think yeah.
We're not English majors, so
definitely not. I'd be happy, regardless of what it is. So invite me over to your house.
Yeah, please, just email us. We'll stop by.
It's okay.
We're pretty much available every day,
every night.
Yeah, I'd come by in the morning if you need it.
Yeah, I'll bring donuts.
That would be the next one. Hold up, we need to do an episode. What breakfast food pairs best with whiskeys?
Ooh, I love this idea.
Maple bacon donuts.
Yes.
Yeah. Never mind. We've already figured it out. Never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
All right. So give this one a number.
I'm honestly
out of 37. What does this come to?
Ooh, 37.
Give it out of 100.
Out of 100, I'm probably sitting right at 70.
Yeah, I think it's a fair number.
Yeah.
Don't hate it. Don't love it. If given my druthers, I'm drinking the older brothers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I think the kind of price point you pay to get from here to an E.H. Taylor small batch, or from here to an Eagle Rare, I think are reasonable expenditures, right, for what you get. So,
yeah.
That being said, if you're down to your last $25, though, give it a shot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give it a shot. All right, so that brings us to bottle number 2.
Actually, it's this.
Dose.
Trace.
Here we go. Hold up, I got to finish my... You need to hustle up.
Mm.
All right. Gavin, tell us about the second bottle.
So the second bottle is one that
I don't name anything.
I took a chance on today. So this is Legent. It is a bottle, Kentucky and Japan. So it is a collaboration with Jim Beam.
Wait, hold up. You said Kentucky and Japan?
And Japan. Yeah,
okay.
It's a collaboration.
I thought there was a new place called In Japan.
In Japan.
In Japan. I was unfamiliar with it. I was unfamiliar with In Japan, Kentucky.
It's next to Bardstown.
You can't miss it. It's right off the freeway.
Right there. We'll be seeing you soon. With this one, I've been seeing it on the shelf. I'm intrigued by it. So it was literally $24.99. So I beat you by a penny.
Let's see if it was a penny that mattered.
Yes. And so, again, this was one that I have never tried before, and I took a chance on it. I think it's going to be great.
I'll be honest, just at initial glance, switch your glass over there. Make it easy on you. At initial glance, I love the color. Right? In the bottle, got a darker tint to it than what we had over here with the Benchmark. So, that distinctly has a different nose. I don't know as if that's the In Japan in there or not. Now I really wish there was a type of like Anjapan oak that we could age
It's like
whiskey in.
it's like marzipan, but it's Japan.
That is much hotter on the nose. All right. So while we sit and taste this, I want to chat just a little bit. People are always talking about like, hey, I'm looking for a bottle. I don't want to spend a bunch of money. Like, what do you recommend, kind of thing. So the question is, when you walk in and say, best bang for the buck, budget-friendly bottle, what are you looking for in that? Right? Obviously, you're not looking for the, oh my God, best dram I've ever had in my entire life. Like, are you trying to shoot down the middle? Or when somebody asks that question, do you try to find that rare little nugget that does something different? Because I'll be honest, right off the bat, nose, classic bourbon. This one's got stuff going on in it.
Yes.
Right? That isn't here.
Mm-hmm.
And so my question, I guess, is that what you look for in a budget-friendly whiskey? Or was this a mistake, or was this intentional?
This was intentional. So I tend to go to something that if I'm going to buy a bottle, I could go two ways. One is I want a solid bottle that I know is going to be great every time. Or I want to go completely obscure, something that I have never tasted before and I don't know much about. But I want to learn about it. And I've seen it, I'm intrigued by it, passed it by several times along the aisle, and I really just want to hit it and just get it. So I think it just depends. Depends on my mood, depends on the whole reason why I'm in the bottle shop. Is it a normal day? Am I going there for a specific reason? So if somebody asks me, I'm typically trying to hit probably middle of the road for them if they've never, if they're a beginner or don't know much about bourbon or scotch or whiskey in general. So I'm going to try to steer them towards something more middle of the road. But for me personally, I'm probably going to more obscure. That's a lot of what I have on my shelves.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair thought process. I think you've kind of we touched on a couple bottles right at the start of the show. Old Forester and Old Granddad, both of those pack that $25 and under classic, right up the middle bourbon flavors. It's vanilla, it's caramel, it's not too spicy, it's not too sweet, it's not too, like, it's right, it's the grounder to the shortstop, right? Like, it is right there.
I like that analogy.
Yeah, for a guy who doesn't play baseball, I mean, that was pretty solid, I thought.
That's nice. That's nice.
To me, those are safe. Can I put that in air quotes? Yeah. Safe bets.
Safe space. Safe space.
It's not. I'm going to be ridiculed. It's the internet.
Be nice.
Nah, let me have it. I probably don't understand half the words you use anyways. This like quintessential normal bourbon flavor that comes. This one, on the other hand, I'm going to deviate here. This is dusty. It is oaky. It is one. It tastes hot. What's the proof on this one?
I think we're at 47% here. 47.1%.
Okay, so we're right at the same. I'll be honest. This sips hotter to me than the benchmark did. I think the other part that I'm getting is this distinctly oakier flavor and a distinctly like mint rye kind of note that shows up here that I didn't get here, I'll say almost at all, right? But like fresh mint, right? Not mint gum, but I mean like actual green fresh mint that I find really intriguing. I'll say I'm not a huge heavy oak guy typically. That heavy oak tannic stuff tends to create that bitterness. I think of it like the same kind of flavor or the same kind of reaction I get in a really hoppy beer that kind of
I get you.
makes your mouth pucker. And I'm not a big IPA guy either.
I smell what you're stepping in.
And it's mint.
It's mint. No, I didn't pick that up until you said that. Persuasion here. But I do get that. So this is, again, it's a lot more complex. But it's very complex for a couple reasons. But one, because it's a collaboration with Japan. So it takes basically the spirit from Kentucky, and then it was sent to Japan. And then they blended it and did their magic. And that's what this is.
So it says on the label here, finished in wine in sherry casks. I don't get much of what I think of as traditional sherry. I don't get a lot of fruits.
Agreed.
I don't get any raisin, any of that kind of stuff. But I do get a bit of that kind of tannic tartness that like a bold red wine might have. And so maybe that's coming from that wine finish. Unfortunately, do you know which wine, or did you find any info on it?
I didn't.
You put $25 worth of effort into research on this.
Absolutely. I mean, as you do. With a challenge that we literally set like this morning, what are you going to do? And it's like, all right, we're going to go find this.
I texted it yesterday. Hey. The fact that you didn't read it till this morning is not my fault.
You know what? Each is their own. But again, a little bit more obscure. Took a chance on it. This is... a solid staple on the shelf. Can find it just about anywhere. This one, probably not on the shelf everywhere. But to me, it's a pretty solid find.
I want to say, like, score-wise, I'm not positive there's a huge difference in my number, but the reasons why are totally different.
Okay.
Right? I gave this one in the low 70s, right? 72, 71, somewhere in that range, because I thought it didn't hit those classic bourbony notes the way I wanted it to. This one, on the other hand, went away from that and different, and personal preference, right? I think the oaky's a bit much. Mm-hmm. I think the tannic kind of notes from the wine might be a little overpowering. But I enjoy the rye mint note that comes in there. I like the spiciness that it carries, right? There's a bit of a mouth tingle and that kind of stuff after the sip, and that I really enjoy. So I think I find myself with a very similar score, but I'm not positive it's for anywhere close to the same reasons.
So would you say, like, what would be your score on this one?
I would say if this one is a 72, this is a 71.99, which is probably that penny difference.
Wow.
Well, you knew it couldn't quite score. Wow. No, I think they're probably the same for me. Now, to your point, right? When we sit down and talk about bang for the buck, your palate matters a lot, right? Because you either love that taste and then it's a great bottle for that price, or that bottle misses your mark and you're like, it's not worth $25, right? That seems to be that window. So wherever that happens to be, this idea that if we get a price point that we're really looking, or a flavor profile that we're really looking for, and we can get it at a good price, like, that's a done deal. Go grab that bottle for you. And ultimately, to me, guys come over sometimes and say, I love this bottle, best bang for the buck sort of deal. It's because it's their flavor profile. If no one else agrees with you, who cares? Right? Who really cares?
100% agree, because everything he said about tannins, completely opposite. I'd go gnaw on an oak tree. I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. Like,
chew on bark.
Yeah, I love the oak. double oaks and those kind of profiles. I love those. This one I'm setting probably a little bit higher. I'm probably more of like a 79 on this bottle.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, that's a great deal.
Yeah.
For
$25.
If we start talking in that range of absolutely need to have this in my office, in my collection, right? Whatever you want to call it.
You got bottles in your office?
Yeah, of course we do, right? Like, you can't love whiskey as much as I do and not have a bottle in every office you've ever been in. But yeah, if you can get to a point where you find a bottle you enjoy to the point where you're like, I got to have that. And it's under $25. Not only $20, it's under $25 at $24.99. That's a great one.
Yeah.
It's rare I go into a liquor store. Sorry, a bottle shop. As Gavin likes to say.
Bottle shop.
It's rare you go in and you're like, give me a case of that one. But if you're pushing 80 and it's $25 a bottle, why wouldn't you have backups on backups of that one, right?
Fair.
Push that into the daily drinker category.
Yeah. Honestly, I would probably drink this daily.
To be honest, the bold flavors in it, I think could really be playful in a cocktail.
Yeah, agreed.
I think that would probably be, between the two, I think there was a bit of this one I would put Coke with it, or being a Texas guy, right, like Dr. Pepper. But this one over here, I mean, it's got some of these notes that you get from bitters, and maybe this makes a great Manhattan, or maybe this is a wonderful base behind an old fashioned, right? Something that stands up a little bit to the other things going on in the glass. But yeah, right. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful selection at $25.
Absolutely. So, do y'all have either one of these bottles? That's what we'd want to know.
Yeah, so as always, man, part of what makes this fun for us is talking with you guys. So whether tonight was the first time you tried these, or this is, man, I've had this one forever. I love this one. We buy this all the time. We want to hear about it. So make sure, get down in there in the comments, drop us a note. Don't forget to check us on all of our other platforms, Instagram, Facebook. Go like, follow, subscribe, all of those buttons.
And comment. We want to hear from you all what y'all think.
So, until next time, raise a glass, y'all.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And Slanchava. Did I steal that from you?
No, we can both say it.
Yeah. All right, here we're going to get Slanchava. Oh, that sounds so good.
Oh, that's a good one.
Thanks, everyone.
We want to thank you, our noble listener, for joining us.
We believe each whiskey has a story, and so do you. So give us your thoughts by leaving a comment.
And if you have a whiskey you'd like to see us share, let us know.
You don't want to miss a single episode, so subscribe to our YouTube channel.
And make sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram to stay up to date on the Noble Dram.
And if you find watching this difficult, you can always listen to each episode on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
As always, be noble
and enjoy your dram responsibly.